On December 5th, 1872, a chilling sight greeted the crew of the Dei Gratia, a British merchant vessel sailing through the Atlantic Ocean. Through the vast emptiness of the sea, they spotted a lone ship drifting silently, her sails full, yet no crew in sight. There were no distress signals, no visible damage, just an eerie stillness. As they approached, they recognized the ship. It was the Mary Celeste, a merchant brigantine that had left New York bound for Genoa, Italy, only a month earlier. What should have been a routine voyage had become a nightmare wrapped in mystery. What happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? How could a fully stocked and perfectly seaworthy ship be completely abandoned? Captain David Morehouse, commander of the Dei Gratia, was stunned. He personally knew Captain Benjamin Briggs, the man in charge of the Mary Celeste, and he knew Briggs to be an experienced and highly respected seaman. The idea that Briggs would abandon his ship without reason seemed impossible. The crew of the Dei Gratia launched a boarding party and cautiously climbed onto the Mary Celeste, expecting to find some explanation. Perhaps survivors, a note, or at least some evidence of an emergency. But what they found only deepened the mystery. The ship's interior was undisturbed, eerily silent. The cargo hold remained secure, still carrying 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol. The crew's belongings were untouched. Clothing, personal items, and even valuables were still in place. The ship had more than 6 months' worth of food and water, yet not a single crew member was on board. The ship's logbook was discovered, and its last recorded entry was dated November 25th, 1872, 9 days before the discovery. At that time, the Mary Celeste had been sailing normally. The coordinates in the log suggested she had been about 400 nautical miles east of the Azores, an island chain in the Atlantic. There was no sign of distress, no indication of trouble. It was as though the crew had vanished into thin air. Only a few strange clues remained. The lifeboat was missing, suggesting the crew had left voluntarily. The ship's only clock was broken, and its compass had been knocked from its place. The ship's cabin was wet, but there was no catastrophic damage. 9 barrels of alcohol from the cargo were found empty, but no sign of leakage or theft. With no visible reason for the abandonment, the Mary Celeste was taken to Gibraltar, where an investigation began. But instead of answers, the inquiry only produced more questions. The disappearance of the Mary Celeste's crew remains one of the most enduring maritime mysteries of all time. Over the years, theories have ranged from logical explanations to bizarre paranormal speculation. One early theory was that the crew had turned on Captain Briggs, possibly killing him and taking the lifeboat to escape. However, this idea had several problems. There was no evidence of struggle, no bloodstains, and no missing valuables. The ship's cargo was also untouched, making it unlikely that pirates or thieves had attacked. Piracy was a real threat in the 19th century, and some believed that the Mary Celeste had been boarded by pirates, who then took the crew and left the ship behind. But once again, nothing was stolen. Why would pirates leave behind an entire cargo hold of valuable alcohol? One of the most widely accepted theories is that the alcohol fumes from the cargo began to leak, causing the crew to fear an imminent explosion. In a panic, they may have abandoned ship temporarily, waiting for the danger to pass. If they had tied the lifeboat to the ship with a rope, it might have snapped in rough waters, leaving them stranded in the open sea while the Mary Celeste drifted away. A waterspout, a tornado at sea, or an underwater earthquake could have caused violent tremors, leading the crew to believe the ship was about to sink. If they panicked and abandoned ship too soon, they may have found themselves adrift in the ocean while the Mary Celeste remained afloat. A rogue wave, a massive and sudden surge of water, might have hit the Mary Celeste, washing some crew members overboard and forcing the others to abandon ship. However, the ship itself was found intact, making this theory less likely. As with many unsolved mysteries, the legend of the Mary Celeste has attracted wilder theories. Some believe the crew was abducted by aliens, while others think they were victims of the Bermuda Triangle, even though the ship was found far from the region. Some even claim that the ship was cursed, doomed to sail the seas forever, haunted by the ghosts of its lost crew. After its eerie discovery, the Mary Celeste was taken to Gibraltar, where a lengthy investigation took place. The authorities suspected insurance fraud, but no solid evidence could be found. Eventually, the ship was returned to service, though many sailors feared it was cursed. For the next decade, the Mary Celeste continued to sail, though she never fully escaped the shadow of her infamous past. In 1885, her final owner deliberately ran her aground near Haiti in an insurance scam. Even in its destruction, the ship carried the weight of its haunting legend. More than 150 years later, the Mary Celeste remains one of the greatest unsolved maritime mysteries in history. It has inspired books, films, and documentaries, all attempting to solve the question: what really happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? Did they fall victim to a tragic accident? Were they forced to flee in terror? Or was there something far stranger at work? Perhaps, like the ghost ship itself, the answers have been lost to the sea forever. If you liked this spine-chilling short story, please like and subscribe to my channel to check out more. Stories for the soul.